News Talk, 95.1 FM, 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings, Matt and Dave, and it's a Thursday, and it's 7:35, and the Car Pro is on line one.
Good morning, my friends.
Hey, I heard that that our producer decided to hang up on you.
He did, but I didn't take it personally.
I would. I'd yell at him a little bit if I were you.
I think he likes me.
Wait a minute, Connor hung up on Jerry?
Yeah, he did.
Well, Connor doesn't make mistakes. We only make mistakes, according to Connor.
I'm sure I hit the button or something.
It was a purely political decision.
Way to save it. Way to save it, Jerry. So you're riding around in a really slick-looking car, a 2020 Infiniti, $47,000. And you know what struck me is how much all the four-door sedans look alike.
I know.
Is that just me?
No, it's not just you. I mean, there's only so much you can do with them. This one's got some updated styling for 2020. The Q50's been around a long time, you know, and Infiniti sales, frankly, haven't been great the last 4 or 5 years with their cars, kind of shadowing the trend of everything else, everybody moving to SUVs.
Well, but let me ask you this. Infiniti is, they try to be kind of, a luxury type car?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what they're trying to do. Never quite thought they got there, to be honest. And I guess the thing, when I think of an Infiniti sedan, it's just not overly exciting. They don't do a lot with. They make one version of this car. It's called the Redline 400. It's got 400 horses, and it's quick. But other than that, really, that's about all they've got that's got any kind of performance. I look at this car, and it's easy to compare to the 2020 Jaguar XE I had last week. And ironically, those two cars are within $1,000 of MSRP stickers. And I look at everything that Jag had and how exciting it was and the performance of it and how it drove and felt and handled. And, man, it's hard to make a case for this Infiniti, unfortunately, because it just doesn't stack up with what's out there.
Well, I was going to say that even just name recognition alone, if they were apples to apples, you'd probably go for the Jaguar anyway. Yeah,
I would, and I think resale value down the road, the Jag could be a lot better. Roomy, as far as interior room, they were very comparable. And not to say this Infiniti isn't nice. It is. It's a nice car. But it's $47,000. And in a market where everybody's going with SUVs, and you've got to really stand out with a sedan today to be successful with it. I look at, the changes with sedans, and, Toyota next week is coming out for the first time. They're going to make an announcement that they're going to put all-wheel drive on the Camry and the Avalon. I would have never thought we'd see that out of Toyota because that was just a market they didn't play in. But that opens up a lot of sales in the Northeast.
They're trying to take on Subaru.
Well, sure, absolutely. But that's how competitive they are with cars right now. Everybody's trying to get a little bit more market share with cars. And then you've got some automakers, primarily Ford, who is abandoning that market and not even trying. So, we've had a series of cars. We've had the Audi A7 a few weeks ago, if you recall. So I am being able to see changes in the car sedan market, but you know what? Everybody's still putting all the resources into SUV.
Hey, Jerry, tell me one thing. Remind me who makes the Infiniti.
Nissan.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Nissan's luxury brand like Lexus, Toyota, except not nearly as successful.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. We got Christmas coming up and, of course, Thanksgiving. But with Christmas, is there any uptick in sales at all for the Christmas holidays?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The last week of December, the week between Christmas and New Year's, is, in fact, the biggest week of the year.
Oh, okay.
Dealers look forward, and you've got the dealers and manufacturers jumped on Black Friday a couple of decades ago and made that a car holiday also. And so that's a big day for the dealers that entire weekend. Then you go into December. The automakers pour on incentives like they don't any other time of the year. I mean, watch your TV for 15 minutes and see if you don't see a car commercial.
Oh, I know that the commercials just come on like crazy, but I didn't know whether you if there were a lot of people that would buy that for someone for Christmas.
Oh yeah, no question. It's huge. A lot of people buy cars for Christmas presents, and then that last week of December, you get all the people whose CPA said, "Hey, you need to go out and make a major purchase for this year's taxes."
Yeah.
And so all those people put it off and put it off and put it off, and then they all show up the last week of the year. The dealers are slammed the last week. And so, yeah, this is November, not so much, but December has always been one of the best years in the auto industry.
So I'm on CarProUSA.com, and I found something that I did not know y'all had on CarProUSA.com.
What?
Recipes.
Oh, yeah. We put this up every year. There's 3 recipes. Kevin McCarthy, my radio show partner, when he was a big deal in Dallas-Fort Worth for a lot of years, and he had a daily show like you guys do. And there were 3 recipes that over time his listeners just, set out and said, these are the best. And so we put them up every November for the holidays. But pretty cool. I think the other story to pay attention to today is I found this really fascinating study about vehicles that people keep for 15 years or longer and what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put the top 15 vehicles that people keep for 15 years or more. And with the exception of one, every one was made by Toyota or Honda.
Yeah,
I'll be darned.
Well, let me. I'm looking over the list right now. The one that surprises me that's not on this list, because I see them everywhere, and that's just because of where I am, probably, here in Lubbock, Texas, is the Chevy Suburban. I mean, you're seeing 80 model Chevy Suburban still running around out there.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of older Suburbans, but there's a lot of them too that didn't make it. I mean, when you look at the quality that General Motors was building pre-bankruptcy and the quality that they came back with post-bankruptcy, when they weren't worried so much about money, then it was like a night and day difference.
Yeah.
So that really didn't surprise me. The Suburban wasn't on there, although there are some that are still running around.
Jerry, I've got a 2005 Passat, which is still a good-looking car by today's standards. And long story, I never did want the car, but wound up with it. And I was always waiting for it to trash out work and trade it in. But that car's got 82,000 miles on it, and it is still running until yesterday. The heater quit working. Took it into the mechanic, and he said your radiator water looks like chocolate milk, and he says it's gunk. And I never knew that you should drain those things and flush them out. But,
did he say anything about the water getting into the oil supply and the engine block and all that?
He hasn't yet. Now that may be the thing, but it may have finally trashed out. But I'm telling you,
it could be.
But that has been a wonderful car. The only thing I've done is put brakes and batteries and tires on it.
Sounds like you had a good run.
I did.
So I'm looking at your list still, and the 2 that you were talking about, they're still foreign cars. So you're still looking at Subaru and an Acura are the only 2 that are not Toyota or Honda.
Well, Acura's made by Honda.
Oh, okay. So what's the Subaru Forester? That's it. Wow.
That's it. Amazing. It really was, and it just. But you got to put your head back into that time frame of when cars. But you got to go back 15 years. You know, you're 2002, 2003, 2004 in that era, and nobody else was making great cars except Toyota, Honda. So no big surprise here.
Yeah. All right, Jerry. Well, we're running out of time, but we want to remind people that you're on every Saturday from 11 to 1. And you'll be there this Saturday answering questions, car questions, or just talking about other cars. Also, your website's carprousa.com.
Guys, have a good week.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Talk to you in a week.